Hey, Life with Brock, maybe fourth time is the charm? And maybe not. See if we're going to get this party on the road here. Come on. Get in here. Who's going to join me for this live session? 36 the first time. 15 the second one. Literally 3 last time. Are people even did I make this one? I don't know if I made this one public. Because you know what I'm looking at right now? I'm not looking at that I got a live feed at all. Oh no, it says live. Holy cow. All by myself. I'm gonna be all by myself.
Get a notification that you're live.
You didn't?
Nope. And I did the other times.
Oh gosh. This is too funny. I think I forgot to put it public. Yeah, because by now I think even one person would have come in.
It says 2 people watching.
3 people watching.
But I didn't get a notification.
Is there anybody in here? Write something down. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. It says 4 now. Ah, somebody's in the chat. Dude, I have no idea what's happening. I'm not sure if it's YouTube or my Wi-Fi. So the feed is happening, so we're gonna get cracking on this thing. A lot of energy has been spent on me trying to figure this thing out, which is terrible. But what are you gonna do? What's up, Trekformer? I'm working on a Bullseye custom. I tried explaining it last 3 times that I've been on, but I figured let me do some work here and then I'll explain because maybe that'll change things up. This may not be the best drill to use for that. But what I essentially have here is this bullseye head that I've sculpted the mustache using Procreate putty. And now I'm trying to make room for his Deathlock implant, which is this, that I'm still going to have to modify, but this is so you can get an idea. this way so you can kind of see what the idea of it is. But I think I'm going to use a different drill bit. I use a Badger airbrush. If you go back to some of the Juggernaut custom that I recently did, I show it there during one of those live streams. Let me try to use this one. I kind of wanted to use a... To seal my figures, I use, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish, I use Future Floor Shine, which is a clear acrylic compound that, man, that almost looks pretty good for the scarring. That's actually pretty good. And then I use Krylon Matte, something I picked up at Walmart. You can't see these. I'm trying to be careful with his eyeball that I don't shave the wrong area because I don't want to get rid of that bullseye. I'll show you in a moment what I'm trying to get at. I love this Bullseye head sculpt. If you guys happen to know who it was, who did it, let me know. If you know the guy's name, I'd like to send him a note of thanks for just a really good, expressive head sculpt. I used it on, I guess I can call it a custom because I did a little bit more than repaint. I did a Silver Surfer. And I kind of like that look of the plastic right there. Let me see if you guys can bring it up a little bit. Right there for the scars. Yeah, buddy. Let me show you what I'm trying to accomplish, since it looks like the stream's going to hold this time around. Yeah, there'll be no smiles on my side if this thing doesn't work. But here's the artwork that I'm going off, and I haven't had a chance to take a look. I can't remember the artist's name, but this is from the old Hawkeye series that's currently out right now. You guys should go read it. It's a Dynamite comic book, which is the reason why I want to do this. Do this character. There you can see another part of his Deathlock implant. So mine's not going to look exactly like that, but I am going to try to get it to cover his head. I really like how the scarring looks around this eye. I get a pretty darn good idea how I'm going to make this red pop. And so I'm on my way. So that's reference art. There's some other reference art that I will be using, but it's primarily going to be from that series. Highly, highly recommend it. So I'm just trying to see. It looks like I got to get into his cheekbone a little bit. I hope that I answered the sealing of the figure. All right, let's see who's in the chat. We got Bad News, Donovan Ruiz, Trek Former, Spidey Cosplay, Transformer Optimal, 23 Famous. What's your favorite custom Marvel Legend that I've made? and you like my 6-armed Spider-Man, see, Spidey, you're in luck, dude, because that's one of the easiest. It's actually more of a mod than a custom because I didn't paint it. I didn't really do much to it other than just open up those holes in the back. Follow, that's one of my, it looks like that is the most popular video on my channel currently. And I think it's pretty easy instructions to follow. Just make sure you're putting in the holes in the right area. My favorite custom that I've made, I definitely like the Spot. I really like Thanos. The Juggernaut is okay. My favorite custom repaint so far, you haven't seen the video to it yet. It's going to be coming out. It may be coming out tomorrow or maybe Sunday. It's going to be the Marvel Select Juggernaut that I did. I think that the paint job on that one came out pretty awesome. I'm trying to think of some of the other customs. You know what? I should probably do a video of all the customs I completed in 2018 and let you guys vote on which ones you guys like the best. When we take it to the chat, what customs of mine that you've seen you like the best? Put it down in the chat. Will you paint the scar around Deathlock implant in his eye? If you aren't, you should. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna try to make it look like a scar. Which this is actually looking pretty good already. That plastic is really. I'm not gonna have to do much to it. It's scarring it for me. Let me hold it a little bit different. Let me see. What's up, Stan? G.I. Joe customs. You know, I watched, obviously, when I was growing up, I watched G.I. Joe a lot. And I had G.I. Joes as toys. But I definitely prefer the superheroes. I don't have any planned currently. But if I were to make a G.I. Joe, which one would it be? I like Storm Shadow. Is the other one called Snake Eyes? It's Snake Eyes, isn't it? Sartan, Deathstroke, Cobra Commander. You know, the main ones. Cobra Commander would be kind of cool to get. I've thought about making a Deathstroke. Or Deathstroke. Deathstroke. I'm almost saying Deathstroke. I'm gonna have to divot that in a little bit more. Actually, a lot more, but I want to go slow. Because once you can go to a point of no return, it'll be harder to build it back up. So I want to make sure that I'm going nice and slow and figuring this out. Bad news, you like the Spot? Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. It's definitely multifaceted, that one. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's up, Kiko? The Spot. I had a lot of fun making the Spot. Thanks, Automaton. Now, if those of you in the chat right now that only know me just because I do the custom figures, you may want to check out that I'm actually doing a 4-part series from my toy hunts. I did the best of Life with Brock, kind of going from the very beginning of my YouTube, which was just it wasn't that long ago. It was about a year and some change ago. And what I initially did, I did toy hunting. So there's some funny parts in there. if you like my type of humor. You may not like my humor, but go check it out and let me know what you think. I know some of the guys that have been following me from the beginning have really enjoyed it. They've sent me messages that they like the highlights. So I'm using a Dremel 3000 in the event that you're wondering. It's a variable speed Dremel, which in this case, it's helping me not take too much plastic off. Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions as far as the your collecting is concerned? I need to shade down a little bit on the on this part too before I continue. I'm trying to see if I can get away without doing it. So I gotta dig in more in there. Yeah, man, that's gonna look good. I'm sure guys that have been doing customs longer than I have could plow right through this, especially the guys that are doing this for commissions, because they have probably more time to do this type of stuff than I do, and they're pumping them out. So they're just way more comfortable. You know, once you've made it, you know, once I make this figure, if I were going to make another one, I could do it a lot faster because all the different stuff that I've had to figure out, it's already been figured out. But since I don't do commissions and I don't sell off my customs, it's just for a hobby that I enjoy doing, and it goes into my personal collection. That's why it takes me so long. Some people have asked me, "Oh, why don't you sell your customs? You can make some money." No, I would actually lose money because of the amount of time that it takes me to do this. But you can see all the work that it goes into doing a custom when you see some of the stuff live. Because some people don't really have an idea. It's like when they say, "Oh, here, sell me that custom for $50." That's craziness. So hopefully, for those of you that are wanting to do customs on your own, this type of stuff will be helpful to you. But then if this is not something that you're interested in doing, you can at least appreciate the work that goes into making of a custom. And then you can, you know, have a better idea if you're going to price one out. Part of the reason why I got into customizing is because I wanted a custom figure of a specific Marvel character. And it was going to cost, I think it was going to be like $350. And I'm like, heck no, I'm not going to pay $350 for a toy? Craziness. And then when I started learning how to do that, then it makes sense. Because not only are you paying for the skill that's involved, because certain customs, you know, I can't accomplish, like what Craig Warwick did. If you're familiar with him, he just finished a Psycho, was it a Psycho Man or a Psycho Pirate? Can't remember the name of the character. But he did it for his Foolish Secret Santa exchange. I don't think I have the know-how to do what he did. And the ability to sculpt. I can do a little bit of sculpting, but not at his level. So you're paying for the skill, and you're paying for time. Time is money. Let me see what you said here. Spidey says, what if you made a custom pork grind? I have the head and sculpt the muscles and sculpt over. It's not a character that I really care about. I don't even really know much about the character, to be honest. I only know Spider-Ham, not from the movie, but from the comic books, when the Enter the Spider-Verse, or I forget what it was called. Spider-Geddon. No, that's the one that's out right now. I can't think of the name. A couple of years ago, came out. It's one of those Spider-Verse comics. I was like, what in the world? What's this pig? It was kind of funny. And I spent a couple hours painting him up. You can check out that video. I think if you have that character and you like that character, you could probably do what I did. Especially you younger cats that your eyeballs are still pretty good. You'll still need a magnification if you're going to do it, though, for it to come out good. And just use that Gundam marker and you can paint in the lines. It looks pretty darn good, man. So to answer your questions, I don't think I'll make a, what's it called? The Venom Pig pork rind. This is a NECA headstand. This thing right here, this black piece, it comes with different pegs that you can plug a plethora of heads to, and it just makes, this is something new that I have that makes working with heads a lot easier. All right, I'm gonna have to shave down a lot more, but I'm getting closer. I'd really like to set it in as low as possible. My daughters gave me this. In case you were wondering. jiggle. Yeah, this needs to get closer. I'm try to take some off of this too. Nope. It's got a cord. The Dremel 3000. Some of this part too. Just so you know, I pretty much molded. I took a mold off of this guy right here. I use this stuff called blue stuff to pretty much mold. So this right here is a fist. This is for a Kilowog that I'll be doing in the future. I actually have the Kilowog hands, but these arms are pretty darn expensive. So I bought them, and I'm hoping to resell them to someone that wants the original pieces, but just so you can get an idea. This molds with just with hot water. You can put this in hot water. It's literally called blue stuff. You put in the part that you want. That's for a man ape that I have planned. I got it off of this guy. This just makes it easier. I don't want to cut that piece. In the event that I mess it up, I can always make myself another one. So that's where I got that eyeball from, or that piece, because I do not have the ability to sculpt that. Not that good anyway. So sometimes you just have to use parts and graft them in. I know how to graft in. Trying to see if I can, once I fit this piece, then I'll do a little bit on the Nightwing. You know what? I better do a different piece. Coño! Yeah, I'd like to make an old man Hawkeye also. I haven't thought that one through yet though. Are you guys reading the comics? What's up, Vic? I'm gonna get you guys the name. Let me get you guys the name real quick of that old Hawkeye comic. I'm planning on making an atlas too from that series. I should have had one of you guys look it up. You would have done it faster than me. but I can't see the comments right now. Survey says Ethan Sachs is the writer, Marco Cecchetto is the artist. Just chilling, that's what I'm trying to do. This was my 4th attempt at the live. See, like that could even act as the scarring along the side. That shredded plastic right there. So I don't want to get rid of that. Almost. Almost there. Get rid of some of it though. Did you guys get notified that I came on live this time around? Or were you guys just happen to be on YouTube and saw me going live? Oh, an Aquaman. And actually, that's so funny that you say that because I do have an Aquaman head, an extra Aquaman head, because I'm planning on doing a classic. So I don't need. So you're talking about the movie figure, correct? That's not a bad idea because it already has a beard sculpted on there. I would just have to work on the ponytail. So good suggestion, thank you. I'll definitely look into that and see how it scales. Try a little bit. What's up, Jimpy? So Vic just happened to be on YouTube. Thanks, Jimpy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, but this is the 4th time I've tried today, Jimpy. Tonight, actually, within an hour. And Transformer Optimal only got it the first time around. Yeah, it was futile. I probably shouldn't have done this live, and I should have just gone. But I go. Let me just try one more time. So that's gonna be kind of like the idea. Not. Let me see. Do I like this sitting on it? Definitely have to shave around the cybernetic there, or the Deathlock implant. But that's kind of the idea, and then I have to take off the ear and put the piece and do a little bit of sculpting. I am going to have to sculpt on this one. And then I need to make him a hat. That'll be the first time I'm ever making a hat. So that's kind of the idea. I think eventually it'll look good. Right now it's a work in progress. Let's leave that there. Why don't we bring in Nightwing? And let me show you what I've done on Nightwing so far. It is the Bullseye from the Old Man Hawkeye. So for Nightwing, I sculpted this bat symbol, or I guess that would be the Nightwing symbol on him. And what I've elected to use, so those of you that have not been on the streams where I did this, I used I'm going to be using these Mafex Batman as his arms. And they're already ready to go. They're fitted to fit in that joint right there. Just trust me. They're good to go. And then the question was, what the heck was I gonna do with the legs? I'll show you the legs in a second. Actually, why don't we switch camera angles? For a little bit of variation. Let me back this up. And I'll show you this first. I'm gonna change the lighting now. There we go. Now you can see. What's up, Riss? Or Reese? Forgive me. Reese, I think. So I sculpted that design. It's there's no comic book reference for this. It was just kind of like my own design right here. Just a little bit of just something to break up the back. I still haven't decided where I'm gonna put his eskrima sticks. What I may end up doing is I may just pretty much go in through here and put magnets there. I don't have that much room, so it's gonna be tiny magnets, then sculpt over it, and then make the eskrima sticks, metallic like this. And they'll just be able to, I'll be able to put them on his back whenever he's not, posed with them on. Or I'll do that and then maybe sculpt some sort of harness, but I haven't decided what the design will look like yet, or if that's exactly what I'm gonna do, but that's what I'm thinking about doing so far. What do you guys think? Reese, I'm doing Deathlock, or I should say Bullseye. That's just put on there, but that's kind of like the idea of where I want that Deathlock implant on, and then Nightwing, which is what I've moved on to. And then the legs, this was not easy. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had the figure ready to go, and then I started getting different ideas of what I wanted to use. So I ended up wanting to use these Mafex Batman boots for his, what's up, Christopher? I wanted to use these Mafex Batman. See, look, it's just so well done and nice. The problem was when I tried to fit this to the existing legs. Now, remember, this is the Spider-Man 2099 body mold, the buck. The legs were too thick, and it was Destruction City. So what I ended up having to do was getting a little bit creative, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell here, but what I essentially did is I spliced, or I grafted in, I cut this guy's knees. Let me see if you can see the remnants. I'm not sure if this is it or not. No, that's from, here we go. So you got to think, you remember the knee joint has two of these, right? So I cut one off and I spliced it to half of the one that was on this knee right here from the body. So I created a new knee joint, essentially. This is the first time I'm doing this. So now this, oh, and that is Gambit's calf that I've spliced in there because this Gambit, this Toy Biz Gambit, had a smaller leg. So it actually worked out with a smaller calf to be able to go inside that boot. And that's where I'm at. And it looks like it's going to work. I haven't tested that out yet because I want to do the, I mean, it's just a peg. I still have the pegs. Yeah, this is for Nightwing. This is for Nightwing. That I thought I was done with, but I changed my mind on how I wanted this guy to look. Right? So what do I have to do to Nightwing next? I have to do some prep work to Nightwing. Thanks, Vic. So again, I found myself working backwards. Those of you that are starting into customizing, how many of you in the chat right now, the 21 of you that are in here, how many of you have actually given customizing a go? I'm curious. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've given customizing a go already. So J.K. Hunter has. Reese has. He's working on one right now. Vic has, but when he was younger, so not currently. Transformers Optimal only customizes Transformers, and he's just now getting into Marvel Legends. Okay, Devont Smith says soon. Fred is doing it. You always want to do this first. You always want to sand down the joints first. You want to do all your joint prep first. You want to shave all these rubbing point areas off first before you do it. I thought I had this planned out. I went one way and then I've had to go back and regress. So I'm going to have to do the primer all over again. It's a mistake. I never really take off this part right here. I know some customizers will actually dig into here and they'll cut this shoulder. I just think that's beyond of what I want to do. So I just get something small enough to get in here and shave down this part. He's making a fat Elvis, he says. Alfonso says he just finished a variant Batman helmet. I think I've been on there. Put a link to it. I'm good with sharing, dude. You know, put a link to your page. That way the people on here can go check your work out too. And then that way I can go later and find it. I feel like I've checked out your page before. I don't know if you guys have watched the series that I started a couple weeks back called This Week in Customs. But I think what I'm going to do with that is, because I keep on getting the same customizers popping up in my feed, obviously I have a certain taste. But if you want me to check out a custom, and I haven't announced this yet, but I'm going to announce it in my next This Week in Customs. I'm going to do a hashtag This Week in Customs. If you want me to check out your work, doesn't mean that I'll feature it, and I don't want you guys to get feelings hurt or anything like that. But I would like to get exposed to other people's works. And then if you would like me to consider something specifically that you've done, if you do a hashtag This Week in Customs, then I'll be able to go and take a look. I haven't really thought it out completely yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do next. I have to think about that for my next episode, and I'll definitely be making an announcement then. If you haven't checked out the episode, I've done, I think, 3 so far. Go check them out. just me talking about customs I run into on Instagram. Oh, I did. That's funny. Hey, I have glitter on the Captain America. It's funny. You don't know how to link Facebook. You go to whatever picture you want me to take a look, and you hit the share button, and it should allow you to copy a link. Copy that link and then just drop it on here. Something like this, for instance. I'll show you. I'll give you a tutorial. Let's go to Facebook. There's my feed. So let me go to my page, Brock Rivers, Life with Brock. So let's say I wanted to share. Oh no, that's not the photo I wanted to go to. Let me go to photos. And let's go to this photo right here of a work in progress pic that I had when I made this Yoda. So, oh, it's down here. You see it? Oops, let me try that again. Come on, girl. There you go. You see that share button? Hit share. You hit copy link. And then you come back to the chat. And then, boom, there's the link. And that's how you do it. Chris builds dioramas. I may need your help when I eventually get to the Magneto I'm trying to do. Because I want to do a throne for Magneto. I already have it planned out. I already know what I want it to look like. But I've never really messed with that foam stuff. I have a buddy that does it. Tech Chucker. You guys saw him on the live stream. He's actually very, very good. That's not what he likes to do on his channel. He's only done it a few times. But the dude does really good work. If you want to see what I mean, go to his page and go look up his giveaway. He gave away a Toys R Us diorama. Oh my gosh, man. That thing was so awesome. I was sad I didn't win it. All right, so now, let me check underneath the arms. Even though this is going to be black, so. But I wanted to get it just in case because I made it elect to do it a gloss black. Awesome. Are you, where'd you post it to? It looked like I had already done this, by the way. I'm just going over it again. Change the drill. Grandmaster Popo, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. The fourth one I've given a go at because earlier, the first time, like 35 people hopped on like the first couple minutes and more people were going. I'm going, oh, cool, it's going to be good. But then I noticed the feed was really poor. And it could have been that one of my daughters was on the internet, but I didn't want to kick her off. I thought it could have been something else. And then I tried to come back on later, and that was just a mess. So this is actually the fourth time that I've been on here. I'm changing to a felt wheel right here. And if you don't know what a felt wheel is, it just looks like this. It comes with all these Dremel kits. I like to use it to shave down some of these harder to get areas. And I need to actually shave down And I'm learning as I go here too, guys. Like right here, you see that this could potentially be a rub point right there, right here. So I need to shave this down right here, all this top part, because I am going to be painting this. I think I'm going to be painting that inside area blue. So I need to shave it down on both sides so that there isn't a rub point. So I'm going to use this for that. Hey, you were in the first stream, right? Or am I remembering wrong? Yeah, you were on. I remember for sure you were on there, Transformer Optimal. I remember. Well, we're back up to 35 now. And I'm pretty sure the 35 that are seeing this did not get notified the fourth time around. So thanks for coming back. And by the way, guys, when you're doing this, make sure that you're wearing safety glasses. I mean, I think these may actually be racquetball glasses. You just want to be able to prevent any of these little pieces of plastic coming back towards you, because the wheel's, you know, it's going in a clockwise, is it going in a clockwise? Counterclockwise here direction, and it'll spit it right back at your face. So Chris says he got notifications for all of them except for this last one. Well, I'm glad you guys made it here. I like having people hang out while we're doing this, because you guys could be doing it on your end. Working on your stuff too. All right, I think that I should show it. All right. I had to approve that because it wasn't letting it go through. So it looks like that may actually, let me see, is it preventing it? It's close. So I'm going to do a little bit more right here at the top. Yeah, I saw Aquaman. I liked it. Also, Automaton. So you actually Automaton. So you actually take commissions. There you go, guys. There's another guy. If you guys are interested in a custom, go check him out. See, MJ says he's working on his stuff right now. Yeah, you know, I think he did the main actor for Aquaman. Actually, all the actors were pretty good, but I think he makes a good Aquaman. I know he's not your classical looking Aquaman, but I think he's fun and he really enjoys his role. You can tell. I thought Aquaman was way better than the Justice League movie. I didn't care much for the Justice League movie. I wanted it to do well. I wanted it to be good, but I didn't care much for it. So when I do this too, and there's guys that have been doing it for a while that do a really good job just smoothing everything out. This kind of slices off. So what I like to do sometimes is just go over it by hand. There's more work, but I think I want it to go over to smooth that out a little bit because I think in black it will show. And I wanted to be smooth. And I just wanted to show you a little bit. I'm not going to do this all on camera because this part, when you do it by hand, takes a long time. But as you can see, it makes a difference. So it starts smoothing it out, and you can actually get, this is probably like 220 grit sandpaper, but I have grits that go higher, up to 1,000. And the higher and higher you go, the finer it gets, so it'll give you a smoother look. When you take a look at customs, the top guys in the game, the guys that charge a lot of money for their figures, when you look at their figures at the rub area points, it's going to be smooth. Like even in here, where I don't care, this is my custom, it's going to go on my collection. But those guys, when they do it, this part's even smooth, the inside joint, because they'll remove it. All right, that's good for that. Let's do this side now, because I will forget to do it if I don't do it now. What's up, Parker? Yeah, no, me neither. I tried to get into the comic books hole, but I think it was the way it was being written. I don't know. Maybe if I think Jeff Johns did a run with him. I think that may be better. But I haven't read a good Aquaman comic. Maybe somebody in the chat has. So a group on Facebook that I'm involved in. It's called Cindy Comics. SYNDI Comics. It's connected to the Syndicate Toy Hunters group. I don't know about any other. I'm not involved in any other comic groups, but if you guys are interested in comics and sharing stuff about comics, I'd recommend that group. You know how long this custom has been in the works? It's been a long time. It's been so long that I used the Spider-Man 2099 body instead of using the Bullseye, which would be ideal for Nightwing because it's already all black. But the Bullseye one hadn't come out yet when I started this custom. This custom has been in the works for a really long time. Let me just test this out real quick. Yeah, so I got to take that off here, and I didn't notice on this side. But it may hit here too, so I'm going to have to come back around because Nightwing is a character that's very agile, and I'm going to be using as much range of motion for these as I can. So as you can see that there's going to be a rub point. There's rub points all over there, right there. So I need to get rid of as much as I can. A good way, Transformer Optimal, the good way is to get on the groups, and sometime folks will sell their stuff at bottom dollars. I was watching, you'll know who these guys are. I was watching Bobby Skullface's channel, and they did something on Hasbro and Mattel. Him and Jisk and his wife and Bobby's wife. And and Jisk was talking about, and Robert D was also on that. And they were saying, you know, they were talking about Marvel Legends, and then Robert D makes a comment, which is so true. You know, they're figures, and then all of a sudden you'll see like a bed full of Marvel Legends being sold off. That's really the best way to do it. I've bought Build-A-Figure. Speaking of Build-A-Figures, I got this guy it was $26 shipped. $25 shipped. I think that's a decent deal for this. I mean, they could have just packed it regular and sold it at retail, but it's a Build-A-Figure. So Build-A-Figures typically command a higher price. So I got that off one of the groups. I also got a Sasquatch for the same price for about 25 bucks. And sometimes you can get like figures for like $5 if you buy multiple. You just got to look for the deals. Don't pay a lot of money for these figures because they're really not worth it on the aftermarket. Not Marvel Legends. Not for what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Now, even a figure like this, that's Ares. That's the old classic Ares DC version. It's a really sweet looking figure. I mean, take a look at that. Look at that. That is an awesome figure. And it's old. But I ended up paying, I think it was like 30 bucks for that. I think that's what I paid, 30 bucks. And I bought it when eBay was having a sale. It was like a 20% off. So that's why I got it for a lower price. And that's what I mean, groups on Facebook. Syndicate has a buy-sell trade page. There's a group called Fodder. If you guys know, drop them in the comments right now. There's a Marvel Legends collecting. It's a really large group. That's one that if you're not on, you should check out. And their names all very similar, so I'm forgetting them right now. When I need to take a break, I'll show you real quick on Facebook. For those of you guys that are joining in later, I'm working on a Nightwing and a Old Man Bullseye. And right now I just have to prep this Nightwing a little bit better before I do a priming job on him. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just shaving down at the rub points. Yeah, see, Chris, it is. It's a very good price for that figure, especially since I got it new. I don't really, I would have bought it used if it was cheaper. If it was like $20, I would have bought it used, you know? Here, you know what? Let me take a quick break and I'll show Transformer Optimal, some of these groups. And for those of you guys that are involved in Facebook groups. So groups, Cindy Comics, I mentioned it earlier right here. That's a group that talks about primarily comic books. And then since we're talking about, here we go, the fodder box. Marvel Legends. This one I just got in. I don't know it too well. I asked to be a member there for quite a while ago, and they just approved me like recently. So I don't know much about it. Marvel Collectors Assemble. Here's another group that you guys can check out. The largest group I'm in. Oh, it's up here. DC Comics Society, if you're interested in DC figures. Marvel Legends Collecting, there it is. So this is the largest group that I'm involved in. It's got 20,000 members. It's just, you want fodder, just look for whatever you need and be patient. It's just figures galore, figures galore, figures galore. It's a buy-sell trade group. There's also a group called AFJ, but I'm banned in that group. I don't know, no idea why I would be banned in that group. Try to contact an administrator there. I don't think I was ever part of that group, but it doesn't even allow me to find it. It's craziness. Asked Plastic Addict, who's a member there, to contact one of the administrators, and the administrator said, "Oh, he's banned." But they don't have an idea. It's a humongous group, so you may want to check it out. But I have, from what Plastic tells me, He says it's, there's a lot of figures on there. If you guys are on there and you guys know an admin, I don't think they keep records. It's kind of hard. I mean, there's part of me that understands. I have no idea why I would get banned. I haven't done anything. I like to think that I'm a positive person in the nerd world, but I'm banned in that group. But you may want to check that out because I'm sure there's, I understand it's a humongous group. So you may be able to find some fodder there. Action Figure Junkies, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, go for it, Chris. The Spot's a cool figure. You can play around with that. The effects are really cool to do with that guy. I don't think that's it. MJ says they fear your fierce customizing skills. I try to see if I recognized any of the administrators from some other groups so that I could message them directly. As a matter of fact, I did message one of the admins directly, but I got no response back. So I think I got my answer with that where that's concerned. But again, like I said, I get it. I mean, they're managing a humongous group of people. Yeah, I've been trying to downsize my group involvement too because I'm involved in just way too many nerd things, and I got to prioritize. Or is it Action Figure Addicts? I can't remember. It's a humongous group. It's got like 40,000 or more people, I think. I don't know because I'm not in the group, but that's what I've been told. Yeah, in the syndicate regarding the ACBA, Plastic Addict George Johnson, he runs Cindy Picks there. Obviously, I mean, if you want to do ACBA, you need to go to the ACBA group. That's where you want to do it. But if you want something a little bit less strict, or actually it's less strict because there are rules. You go there, or you can go to Eric Eisner's Open Box Shots on Open Box Mafia. Those are the two groups that I'm mainly in. Even though the syndicate, it's been, I don't get much of a response to some of the stuff I post on there. Like 2 or 3 people will respond, and it's a large group, so I'm surprised. But it could just be they're not interested in whatever I'm bringing up. But on Open Box Mafia, there's a core group of people that typically respond. And a lot of these guys, in a lot of these groups, the folks cross over. All right, so I think I'm good with the shoulders for now. As you can see, there's much more clearance there, so less opportunity to paint to rub. And I can't imagine that well, that's about as high as that arm will go. Most of this will be black, but I'm thinking that I may want to paint like a blue stripe here. Haven't completely decided yet, but in the event that I do, I need to work on those shoulders more. And of course, there's going to be rub points here, but that's primarily going to be black. And I'm trying to think if I would have any blue other than in here, this chest symbol. It may just be black. And then definitely on the legs. So definitely want to do a little bit around here. You see, we got about 70 minutes in. I'll go for a little bit longer. If you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Or you guys just work on your stuff along with me here. Oh, if I haven't had a chance to promote the most recent videos that I dropped on my channel, I'm doing a series. It's a 4-part series. If you heard this before, forgive me. I'm doing a 4-part series that highlights my beginnings in YouTube. I try to pick the funnier moments, and you'll definitely, here I'm much more reserved because I'm concentrating, and it doesn't, it's not the right context to go crazy. But you may want to go take a look at those so you can see just a different aspect of life with Brock during the toy hunts. If you've seen those videos, you already know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Kyle Rayner head, you mean? I've never liked that design for the mask. I mean, it's definitely very distinguishable. You can tell it's Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. But I've never liked it. There's something about it I just don't like, and I don't know what it is. I think I'm going to apply something different to Brockonomics this year. I'm thinking, no, I didn't crack anything on this figure. Nope, because I was planning to use the body as it was, and I did not have to crack it off to get it. This is actually a joint that if you're going to try to pull off, you really need to put heat on this for quite a while, and because this is a little bit harder plastic than just the arms. So you really want to, it's thicker, right? So you want to really get heat on this before you attempt to pull it off, because you do not want to break those pegs. Because if you break those pegs, might as well just, buy yourself another figure. I'm sure there's a way to fix it. I'm sure I could fix it, but I wouldn't want to fix it there. It's just too crucial of a point, and it's just it's not that thick of plastic. I did read quite a bit of Green Lantern. I'm not reading the current Green Lantern. I couldn't get into it. I've tried it a few times in the last couple of years, and I just can't do it. Okay, so I shaved those a little bit in there to help with the rub points of this. I should probably do a little bit on the legs too, on the outside part. I read Jeff Johns' run. Was it The Blackest Night? Was that what it was called? And I enjoyed that series. That was quite a while ago. Have not read anything good recently. Like even Nightwing. I forget who was the one that was doing the story and art for the Nightwing run. And I want to say it goes back a couple of years. Really enjoyed it, and then they switched teams, and I tried it, and I just couldn't do it. Could not do it. All right, guys, I think I'm going to hop off here because I've been on here for quite a while. Finally got this internet thing worked out. And just for future videos being released, I will be releasing the Marvel Select Juggernaut repaint. Look out for that one. It's my favorite paint job. I was actually using that as a test run for painting the Marvel Legend custom that I was working on. But man, just because that Select sculpt is so unbelievable, the paint, it just stands out more. You'll see it. You'll see it when I release it, the video. I'll be releasing part 4 of that, the first year highlights of Life with Brock. I forget what I titled it. I think it was like Life with Brock. What the heck did I title those things? Best of Life with Brock. That's what it was. Best of Life with Brock. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And then this week in Customs, I'll be doing another episode. I'll probably release that on Saturday. So yeah. All right. I'm petering off, man. That's what happens. Look at that. Oh, I haven't shaved in a long time. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.